So this is Kaiser Gondrzik. She is a player who was a WNBA player for a while. She was a top pick in the 2021 WNBA draft, I think. I think it was whatever. It was one of really bad drafts. I think it was 2021. Yeah, she was drafted in 2021, was waived by the Fever next year, played for the Sky. Well, she didn't play for 2022, didn't play in 2023, and then played 5 games for the Sky where she averaged 1 point per game. So she's realistically, she's barely played in the WNBA at all, to be honest. She really is barely played, and she's someone who, in fairness to her, is as famous as it comes when you're not a WNBA All-Star. Like, I think she's still dating Jaylen Brown. And then obviously the entire, like, she'd be partially known from the entire Kevin Porter Jr. situation. Obviously that's not something I'm going to speak on anymore. Either way, we have got her coming out now and saying in the New York sports, she had 2 careers to fall back on after being waived by the Sky. She's juggling fashion jobs and acting while staying on top of her training for a potential pathway back to WNBA or the new Unrivaled League. And that is a really, really interesting one, because I think that is likely. I think it is quite likely to see her playing in Unrivaled, because she's a big name. Like, she's not the greatest player, but she is still a big name. And I'm looking at Reddit, and it's like someone says it feels like she's more interested in being a WNBA adjacent influencer rather than being in the WNBA. I mean, you can kind of, like, I think it's because, as it says here, like, you've got to still be kind of in the league and good at the sport in order to basically keep getting a lot of these deals. Like, we saw it once Anna Kournikova stopped playing tennis, the other stuff, well, didn't stop, but it slowed down. And good luck to her and Jaylen Brown. She doesn't reveal the reality being cut by the WNBA. I mean, fair. That is fair. That she's not really, like, she's somebody that is dating a multimillionaire and could walk straight into a career in fashion and acting. Whereas obviously some other players can't. But still, like, that's not a knock on her. Like, that's not a knock on her whatsoever. But still, I will say that she is someone that I think is likely to go in Unrivaled. Like, if we look at the Unrivaled League, they are still struggling for players. And there are not a lot of players left. There are not a lot of players left that are going to simultaneously draw in crowds and be there on this short notice. Like, a lot of people are still playing in Europe. And not as many as other years, but there are still a lot of people playing in Europe. So anyone playing in Europe is off the cards. And anyone realistically who wants to play for their country. Like, there is a February international break. So anyone who wants to play for their country can't play in Unrivaled. So you're not going to see... Oh, you're probably not going to see Satu playing for Germany. But you're not going to see Niara. Or you're probably not going to see Niara. You're probably not going to see... what's her name? Fibic. And they have 3 spots to fill. So... Like, Gondrzik could be, like, she's in America. She's a big name. She's not gonna, like, look, I'm just putting it out there. She's not that much worse at basketball than Kate Martin. And yeah, I could see it happening. Honestly, I could actually see it happening. Someone's saying she's Unrivaled. I think there's a good chance of this happening, of her being one of the last few players Unrivaled, because, like, they really, like, stopped with the whole we're looking for the 30 of the best players. No offense to Kate Martin. No offense to Ray Burrell. Like, Ray Burrell is in the league. Like, I get it. Ray Burrell, by the end of the season, was a starter and is a better player than Kaiser Gondrzik. But, like, Ray Burrell is a Tennessee standout is in her accolades. Like, to be fair, Iowa legend is in Kate Martin's accolades. Like, everybody else has some things. Like, first round draft pick, at least won by NCAA champion. And then for a lot of other players, it's like you're seeing significantly less. But either way, I think this is realistically how Unrivaled have to find the players. And that's the problem with adding the 36. They could have stopped at 30. Honestly, they could have just stopped at 30. Like, I would have if the league had just stopped, Alyssa Thomas is a big enough get. But if the league had just stopped at Aaliyah Boston at 30, I don't think anyone would have said anything. Like, it could have stopped all there and then. I think they were still trying to hunt Caitlin Clark, trying to get her into the league. But in the end, I just don't see there being a... Like... I just don't see them getting anyone really for these last few spots. Like, it's been a week. Actually, no, it's been 12... Where's that? 12 days? 9 days. It's been well over a week since Unrivaled announced their teams. And we've heard nothing. We've heard absolutely nothing. Like, this starts in January. We're about to be in December. We're hearing absolutely nothing. So, I don't know. I really don't know what's going to happen, but I do think it probably is going to be players almost like a Kaiser Gondrasek. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to bring Candace Parker out of retirement. I think, you know what, maybe her feet are going to be able to like last the Unrivaled season. Maybe she'll be confident about playing the like 3v3. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, honestly, with these last 3 spots. Because Kelsey Plum leaving is really just kind of making it even harder to fill up spots. You've got more than 2. Like, you've now got a third spot to fill, and we're now hearing players that got cut from their WNBA teams genuinely talking about, you know what, I'm staying in shape for Unrivaled. Like, I think it's going to be a decent league. I hope it is a good league, but I don't see Unrivaled being this, like, huge, we're just going to have the best of the best here. And obviously the likes of Kate Martin and Current Day Salute and stuff being in it, you're like, that they kind of stopped pushing that thing. But, like, I don't know. I really, really don't know. I'd say they're probably going to have to look, because a lot of the people I think they might have tried to get, like a Sydney Colson or a Alicia Clark, are too heavily involved in AU. They might, if they'd known now, they probably would have tried to get those type of players. Either way, though, let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about Unrivaled? I genuinely think that it's going to be a struggle. I think the league, there's going to be growing pains this first year. Like, I don't think this year is going to be anything like special for Unrivaled. I think it's just going to be another season in a league. It's going to be a first season in the league, but it's just going to be, I think it's going to be a lot of ups and downs. I think it's really going to be a lot of ups and downs with it. I hope it goes well. I really do, because again, for all pro basketball players, the more leagues there are to play pro, the better. But, man, like, the fact that they're struggling to even find people for these last 3 spots is not ideal. Especially when, by the sounds of things, there is a possibility that a player that has played 5 WNBA games since 2021 might actually be in the league.